Here's a song for you. By the Scorpions. The song is called I Can't Explain, and that goes with the vocabulary project because fortunately, I can explain to you how to get this vocabulary project done in a relatively manageable manner. So I'm going to pause and show you how to complete this project from anywhere in the world. You could be sitting in the hallway and still be able to do this project. You could be walking down the hallway and still be able to do this project. You can be sitting in the lunchroom in a socially distant manner and still be able to do this project. Oh, can't get the food through the mask. Now I know what it's like to be Deadpool. You could be walking down the hallway again and still be able to do this project, although you might bump into somebody and not in a good way. Oh! But let's just assume you're one of those sophomores that hasn't gotten his or her license yet. So you're waiting for mom and dad or mom or dad to pick you up at school. See? But they're not here yet. They're sitting at a green light stop because they're probably texting while driving, even though they tell you not to. So here's how to access this. Very easily, go up to open a new tab and log in to Google Classroom. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, boys and girls. Great day for Google Classroom load. Click on English 2. No days off. That's what class you're in. I might have to move my screen a little bit. We'll see. We go to classwork. Okay. Yes, I know I'm sharing my screen. Thank you. Okay. Lesson 1. Looks like we've got the vocabulary project there. Now, this will also appear in your email. It's also available through my teacher webpage. I'll show you that real quickly. But I'm going to open up this vocab project, all classes. Oh, my word. First thing you have to do is write handmade definitions for each word. You'll have to write them out and then take a picture of the handwritten definitions and send them to me. And if you know how to take, selfies and send them to your friends, even with dog ears on them, you should be able to handle this just fine. And remember, I can read anyone's handwriting. I taught Elias. But let's say that you look up the word agricultural. So let's open up a new tab. Okay, go to dictionary.com. And make sure that at the beginning of your definition section, you specify which website you use. I think Merriam-Webster has a website, as does the Oxford English Dictionary. And I type in agricultural and wait for it to load because I got speedy fast fingers. Speedy fast fingers. Okay. The internet connection is not the best out here. Don't recommend sitting out here in the sun and looking at I can't type. That's why. Agricultural. Let's see here. What's going on here? Let's see if it works. Agricultural. I said agricultural. It's going to go to agriculture, so that's real easy. The science or art of occupation concerned with cultivating land, raising crops, and feeding, breeding, and raising livestock or farming. Now, agriculture is an adjective, so you just write that definition, but at the beginning say something related to the science, art, or occupation. You put the rest of the definition in, you should be okay. And you do that for every single definition. Then you go to section 2. And it says, word cousins. Find cousins for them. Say number 36 is construed. One cousin you could find would be misconstrued. Once you come up with a cousin for each word, explain how that cousin is formed. Real easy. We just had agricultural, right? One cousin of it, it's a little shorter cousin, would be agriculture. And you just take the AL off and you put in an E, change it from an adjective to a noun, and that's how the cousin is formed. Then you write your own sentence featuring that word cousin. Okay? Snap caps, real easy. You just take a word and you draw a picture with it, but you got to explain. So let's say anticipate. All you got to do is draw a picture of kids waiting for Christmas morning or waiting for their parents to get up and explain how they're anticipating Christmas because they're hoping they get presents or something. So again, even as people are walking in the building, you can still work on your project. Go to number 4, great debates. Select 20 or more words that you didn't implement in the pictures part of this project and generate a philosophical dialogue. And that's real easy. All you got to do that is go to docs, not dogs, .google.com. That should launch us in Google Docs. You're basically scripting a conversation. And let's take the word take the word activist, for example. Okay, you start a new document. And again, I think for your snap caps, for your dialogue, for every part of this project, you could do in one Google Doc. If you want to do separate Google Docs for each one, because that helps you, that's fine. Or you can put it all in one. So you have like Joe. Like, hi, Steve. I'm an activist for sugar beets. Steve, I heard about that. That means you promote the manufacture, maybe that's one of our words, of sugar from beets instead of sugarcane. Joe, yes, I heard about it from my friend Dwight of Shroot Farms. And it's at this point that someone will pop up in your internet browser and say, identity theft is a crime, Jim or Joe. Let's go back to the vocab project. So that's the great debates. And you basically incorporate that into a dialogue, what it means to have, the right type of farm or something like that. Before we get to seek and destroy, word history or word roots. Actually, we'll do seek and destroy. Let's say you need to find and evaluate a word in an article, because that's what seek and destroy asks you to do. You have to find the word in an article online. Then you have to include the web address, the paragraph, whether it's used properly, and why or why not. So let's take out the word disbelief. So I'll go back to this tab. Disbelief, ESPN.com. You'd be surprised what comes up. Okay? So, disbelief, ESPN.com. Lamar Jackson in disbelief over his Madden rating. That's a nice headline. Let's find that. Try something other than a headline. Well, let's see if it comes up. A good way to search for the word in the article is hit Control F on your keyboard. So if I hit Control, there's Lamar Jackson, by the way. He's got about as many playoff wins as the Bengals in the last 10 years. Disbelief. And so far, it's not coming up with anything. So, it's got one. Okay, so it's a short paragraph, so I'll copy that. So I've got that. Let me right-click that, copy it, go back into my docs, and let's say that I've skipped down to seek and destroy. I'm going to put 1, disbelief. Site, ESPN.com. Excerpt. And then I paste, Control V. I paste that excerpt. Evaluation. Yes, it's used properly because he was shocked to be rated that highly. Other words. Shock would not have been as effective because it would sound like a medical condition. And there you go. You've got your first seek and destroy done. The next one that we have to do is you have to do your, and again, you're doing, I think, how many words for seek and destroy? 20. Good job. 10 words for word history. This is kind of fun. So let's take a word. We did disbelief. Let's take a word like ardent. Okay. And we'll go to Google. Hi, Lamar. Bye, Lamar. Just like the Titans said last year. So we look up ardent. Definition. Okay, I'm going to go inside for a second, and I'll have to pause this. See, like I told you, boys and girls, you can do this project from anywhere. So I've got ardent definition. If I hit this little arrow here, all right, I'll move there you go, so you can see it. Move that arrow. All right. I've got use over time. Okay, and I should be able to click on that. Yep, there we go. If I click on that, it'll send me a link so I can get this thing's use over time. And I see that in 1830, it peaked. Okay, and then if I minimize this window, yeah, it peaked around 1830 to 1840. So I go and I go to Google again. God bless Google, right? And I type in events of 1830, and what do we get? What major events happened in 1830? We click on that. Great Awakening, Oregon Trail, Indian Removal Act, a lot of rebellions and revolts. So you got to feel pretty ardent about something in order to revolt over it. So that should give you an idea of what ardent means and why it peaked then. There was a lot of awakenings and revolts and things like that. Oh, crap, it took me offline. Anywho, so let's see. Hopefully this works. If not, I have to start it completely over. The last thing you have to do is word origin. So if I go to ardent, word origin, it should pop up. There you go. And then you follow the specifications for that part of the project. Thus ends this screencastify. I hope it didn't get interrupted or anything. I hope you're able to work. Have a good day.